All righty. Welcome, ladies. Congratulations on making the final two. The last time Sequester had a returnee season, it was also a all-female final two. So you guys are really setting the standard for future comeback seasons. So we're going to just jump right in. Miranda, we agreed that you would go first with your opening statement.
So before anything else, I just have to thank production for even seeing anything in me worthy of a second chance, because we all know that there were more than just the 16 of us that deserved a second chance, and I'm just really grateful to be one of the ones chosen. So the game I decided to play was actually pretty ironic, considering that before the season even started, when we applied and we made our intro videos, I came in with intentions of playing this over-the-top aggressive game from start to finish, making big moves from the very beginning to the very end. However, when the cast was revealed, I realized that there were a lot of over-the-top personalities on it, and I just wasn't one of them. In fact, I think I was one of only 3 introverts on the whole cast. But just because I played a quiet game never meant that I wasn't playing the game, and being a long-term fan of this game made me realize that players that peak at the beginning or mid-game seldom make it to the end. So I wanted to save my social influence so I could make the moves that counted at the end. But until then, I planted seeds, and I planted enough seeds to grow a garden. And while I gave off the illusion of playing an honest game, I really played anything but. The biggest example of this actually had to do with my votes in round 3. When asked who we wanted to save, I chose Eli, Diamond, and Derek. However, when the twist was revealed, I decided to use it to my advantage and try to build my relationship with Steve and really feel out where he was, because I already had 2 pretty obvious allies on that cast, and until that point, I hadn't talked game with Steve, so I wanted to feel him out. I wanted to make, when his name was thrown out a lot in round 1, I wanted to make a gesture and kind of show him that I had not voted for him in round 1 and that I had to vote for him in the second, to try to say that, like, I stuck my neck out for him. And even though I could never vote for him in the first place. But in fact, after Eli won the LOC, I was forced to vote for Diamond because I had voted for Derek in the first round. I fully expected Eli to vote Kelly the second round, so I did not expect Diamond to go home at all. And when the unexpected happened, the name of my game suddenly became Damage Control. I knew Kelly knew who I had voted for. She's not stupid, and it was only a matter of time before she blew up my entire game, which is why it was crucial for me to pin her as the hinky vote the following round, even though she was one of the most honest people in the game. Because we all know that fessing up or being caught in a lie in Sequester is usually a death sentence, and the reason being is because you can't just lie to one person in Sequester. When you lie, you have to remain consistent, you have to lie to the voyeurs, and you have to lie to everyone in the game. So I'm sorry, but I lied to every single one of you. Although Nick and Steve were largely credited for getting Kelly out, it was my convincing my allies to flip and vote for her rather than Holly, which was really only good for my game and not so much theirs. And after the round was said and done, I still had the trust of my allies moving forward. Since I wasn't credited for that move, I was able to have enough social influence at the end to get out 2 of the biggest players in the game. I learned from my mistakes the first time when I played 3.0, and this time I wanted to be the one to pull the trigger and get Eli out at Final 6 before he could come after me or anyone else could. And this was the hardest move I had to make in the game because my trust and friendship with Eli goes beyond just the game. However, I wasn't ready to just throw in the towel and hand him the win just yet, so I had to separate my emotions from the game and gun after him. So the following round, when I won immunity to ensure that I beat my original placement and jump over that hurdle, I was able to convince Meredith and Maria to vote out Holly rather than Andrew, because frankly, I would have voted for Holly in the end. I chose Maria as my closest ally night 1 because I knew that Maria was going to be a loyal player, and if I just got to her first, I would have her trust. And that came full circle when my connections with Maria and Meredith were enough for them to want to vote out Andrew Gordon rather than me at Final 4, securing my position in the finals. And I'm just so proud to be here after overcoming my personal obstacle of Final 5, which is a running joke because I've played a few of these games and I never seem to get past 5th place. I always get usually 5th or 6th or 4th. And I'm looking forward to your questions and statements this evening.
All right, Maria, you're up.
Excellent. First and foremost, thank you, Audrey, for your time and for everything you've done for this amazing game of Sequester. It is a mind-blowing game. Allies, trust, so many factors take into play. But all I want to say is thank you, to production, to everyone who helps out. This is beyond my wildest dreams to have had opportunity to play second chances. Now, going into it as well, I want to thank all the players, the challenges, the fun, the times we had. Everyone had a factor in the game, and I am so grateful to have had the opportunity to get to know each and every one of you. It was very important to me from day one to start playing the game and getting to know each and every one of you. When Miranda chose me as her ally, I actually took safety. When I saw her video, I did not feel connected or wanted to work with Miranda. And actually throughout the game, I didn't work with Miranda. I was working with others. But in my best interest, I was playing a social game. I made sure that in the beginning, day one, that I worked with Holly. I told Holly immediately about my connection with my grandfather, about being a caregiver. I felt we bonded with that in an amazing way. I also came into day one wanting to get someone at 9.0 out because there was 4. And my target that night was Zach, because I chose in my survey, if I picked Zach day one, I'd get an LOS, which I did. In that event, I also continued to play the game. No one knew I received it. And I bonded with Meredith. Those are the people that I started talking to in the beginning. And I had a connection with Meredith in the past because when she played her season, she was trying to do an all-women's alliance. And it was sad that she got voted out. So I kind of felt bad, reached out to her, didn't have a lot of social talk with her afterwards. But there was a connection and a trust that I had with Meredith that was beyond. So that was very important that I continued that relationship. And I felt that from the beginning to the end, that Meredith was working with me and was going to be honest with me. This game I played day by day. I also made it a point to tell Eli that I also, because he was at the hierarchy, that everyone wanted to work with him. I definitely put him down also on my survey that I wanted to work with him. And I knew that he knew a lot of people in the game. I came from season 1. I had no idea who anyone was. All right, I had briefly sent a PM to Meredith, but I really didn't know anyone. So I had to come into the game instead of doing what I did in season 1, coming in like a beast, trying to kill it, throwing out names. What happened there? I was out 3. This time I said, no, I'm going to be calculated, social. I'm going to play the game and let others put the name out. I wasn't opposed to putting the name out, which I did various times, yet I would ask the question, who can't you beat? Which I told Eli at one point. And that's how I was doing it. I was being strategic from day one. I was playing a psychological game. When I was winning the LOCs, I was then concerned that people were going to think I was a comp beast. So I started minimizing. Oh, that was a crapshoot, and I didn't get targeted. I was shocked. I was actually, I was playing the middle and I was being underestimated, like, Maria's not doing anything. That's what I thought. Anyway, that's what my gut was telling me. So when names are coming up and I heard one of my allies were being targeted, I would tell them, Meredith, they said your name. Derek, they said your name. Anyone that I heard say the name, I would definitely confront them and tell them and try to sway the vote away from them. Now, going into night 3, I also chose three players. I chose Derek, Cammie, and Diamond, okay? I did not disclose that when I was asked because I felt I wasn't sure at that moment where that would stand. And I thought it was an ally, and it turned out to be a twist. So what I did was I told everyone that I voted for Derek, Nick, and, or not voted, that I named Derek, Nick, and Steve. And then that actually didn't allow the players to strategically use that power to eliminate someone. It was never my intention for Diamond to go. I wanted Diamond to stay. It was never my intention for Cammie to go or Derek. I wanted them three to stay. But all of a sudden, when I saw that Diamond left, I was like, what the heck happened? And what I knew at the moment was, or I found out later, that Eli put her name down. I put her name down because I had no choice, but I didn't think it was going to be a threat. So I also made that move in the game, not intentionally wanting her out, because I bonded with Diamond. I felt she was listening to everyone, talking to everyone in the game, but she was basically taking information. And so I was very disappointed when that occurred. The bottom line is I played my game. I did not always vote where people said to vote. I came in playing strategic, social. I was winning comps because I knew that safety is everything in this game. People will tell you one thing and do another. And I feel that this game is something that it's not like Survivor or Big Brother. It's like you just never know. The twist will take you out. That's the hardest part. So I won 4 LOCs. I got 2 safeties. I protected my people when I needed to, which was Eli, Derek, Andrew, Steve, Meredith, Holly. These were the people that I was protecting. And it happened that everyone eventually had to go. I had a vote in getting out because it was in my best interest, gradually the threats. My agenda every night, I came in with 2 people that I wanted to go home. And that's what occurred. So I just want to thank you once again. I'm looking forward to hearing your questions, and thank you so much.
All right, I will bring in the first juror, Cammie.
Why is there a camera problem? Why is there a camera problem? Do you have to close the camera? Probably. Oh wait, can you see me? Okay, cool. Oh wait, you guys are muted. I always forget that. Okay. Hello. You ladies look beautiful. Congratulations. Congratulations. You guys, probably the 2 nicest people to, it's difficult, it was difficult for me to think of questions because I didn't want to be like an asshole, which I'm not going to do what everybody thinks I'm going to do and just flip out. But me being a super duper fan of this show, and my strongest suit is strategy, which I'm interested to hear. Like I heard in your statements, but I'm kind of interested to hear exactly what it was. In my opinion, Miranda was kind of just attached to Eli until she realized she had to drop him. Maria was good at LOCs and was able to keep a target off herself. But I think that in my head, if I was still playing, I wouldn't keep the person that was winning all the time in the game. So I guess I'll open it up with, I'll ask Miranda, like, you said the whole diamond vote was yours or whatever. I honestly don't know how many people, I think a lot of people are generally confused about what happened. I don't even know if people even were really set on it being Kelly or anyone. And most people I talked to, they really didn't. I was just kind of get off the fact that I was like, look, it doesn't even matter that, like, she's gone. And I don't think that was a big move to get you here. That night just confused the shit out of everybody. So I'd like to know what besides what you think, what you said that was, I want to know what was the biggest, most monumental move?
Right. So, and sorry, it's a little bit. Do you wanna? Should I just keep going?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, cool. It was just echoing. So I was not taking credit for the diamond vote. I was taking credit for the damage control I had afterward, because Kelly had already demonstrated in the rounds before that she did not trust me, which is why it was crucial for me to get her out before jury even started. So I'm not taking credit for the diamond vote. That was genuinely just a very confusing night. However, it was how I handled it going forward to try to get out the person who was most likely to blow up my game, because she felt a lot of mistrust in me after I had lied to her face, and she was bound to blow up my game. And then after that, obviously, I did cut my biggest ally and biggest threat in the game at Final 6. And I feel like if I didn't pull the trigger then, I don't know if there would have been another opportunity to.
Okay, cool. Maria, by winning so much and really kind of like keeping that target off your back, it kind of just seemed like also you kind of just went along with whatever Eli was doing. I will say, like, and I'm going to say that on my survey, I put Eli as the biggest threat. I really thought that he was going to be here. So, I mean, anybody, like, just to say that, I like to give people compliments sometimes. But it kind of just seemed like both your games are low key, which is fine, I guess. But I just don't. Your biggest move was, besides aligning with the right people. Because when you cut Eli, all y'all had to do was win out.
To answer your question, Cammie, I was not always voting with Eli. As a matter of fact, I did put him down, but my biggest move was playing a social game and minimizing my comp wins. I would say they were crapshoots that, oh, I just got lucky. No, I have been practicing since season 1, and whenever I had the opportunity to watch the show, I would definitely practice, you know, the cups and everything that I had to do so that I can be safe. So Eli was not telling me what to do. As a matter of fact, he would tell me certain things. I was never voting the same way that everyone was saying to vote. I was playing Maria's game. I was playing who was the biggest threat, because I actually would go to Eli and say, well, who do you think you can beat? And he looked at me and he's like, well, who do you think? And I said, Nick. Who you can't be, I apologize. And he said, and he asked, he wanted me to give him a name. I said, Nick, and Nick went home. So I definitely was making moves. I was just doing it in a different way without, like, you're the queen of go in a room, get this one out. And thank you, because you came in and said, I want to get Zach out. And Zach was my one to get out. Okay, girl? So I got my LOS because of it. And I felt so energetic with you. So I'm not trying to veer from what you asked. I was playing my game, but I learned in season 1, don't go in crazy, go in strategic. I came in day by day, knew who I wanted out. Now, when Eli was voted out 6, when I came in that day, guess what? I came in and these were my 3 choices at the triple. Eli first, Holly second, Andrew third. What occurred? Exactly that. Okay? Miranda may have said it, but Miranda was his biggest ally. So if I went around and said it, she would have, well, the possibility would have been that they were going to come target me because their numbers were there. So as soon as, you know, she mentioned it, everybody, that was the foregone conclusion. Get him out. He's going to win. He's amazing. He is a force to be reckoned with. I respected his game. I respected your game, Queen, with your little, tiara on. I thought you were going to win this game. I thought Eli was going to win it. I do. You were like fierce. So in conclusion, for what you're saying, I played my game. I played strategically. I played socially. That's on my biggest move. You gotta make connections with people. I made a connect with you, Chica. I kept saying Chica.
Yeah.
And that was like, I know you trusted me because I saw it in your body language. I saw it in other people's body language. Meredith felt comfortable with me. Holly felt comfortable with me. Derek felt comfortable with me. Steve felt comfortable with me. Nick felt comfortable with me. And then little by little, they were going. So when 2 names were put out, as long as it wasn't my person, I was good with it. And I was definitely putting names out as well. That's my answer.
Cool. Well, ladies, good luck. I'm so happy for you. You definitely killed your second chance. You superseded all of your past goals, and best of luck to you. Nothing but love from me.
All right, stand by and I will bring in the next juror, Steve.
Oh my gosh, here we are. Maria and Miranda. Maria. What a story. What a story. Both of you here. Do my little opener here. Previously on Sequester. And here we have, final 2. I'm among the jury, which is, that totally makes sense. And really props to both of you. I love playing with both of you. It was, y'all are both hip players though. You're so hip. And a lot of the jury members, that came after me, that are eliminated after me, they always have these signs in the background, right? They'd go on Twitter, I think Meredith, Patty's like, oh, here's my sign for the day, support. And I tried to be hip. I tried to make these, I tried to make these signs as well to hang in the background, and I just wasn't ever really good at it. I couldn't do it. But it's hard, Miranda, you're really hip person. You're like, what, 21 years old? It's hard to keep up with the lingo these days. Maria, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Like, I don't even know. I just learned yesterday that about a 35-year-old, I turned 30 this year, taught me about the word Reggie. Apparently Reggie is a word for affordable marijuana. So I'm learning something new every day. Okay, so I only have 4 minutes, and in the after show, John was like, wow, Steve Cronin likes to talk a lot, and it's true because I've been talking about myself so far. So I really have one question for both of you. And one thing I don't like about final 2 people are the ones that pander to the jury. Oh my God, I hate it. In my season, Suzanne and Paul were the final 2 in my season, and they were just, oh my God, Steve Cronin, we love you so much. Oh, vote for me. And so what I want to do is I want to ask each of you, just give me one thing about me that you dislike the most. And there's a lot there. There's a lot, right? Like my catchphrase this season was, hey guys, what's going on, Steve Cronin? But really, like my real catchphrase is what other people call me. And they're like, fuck you, Steve Cronin. And there's a reason for that. I'm pretty well hated in the community. Twitter hates me for a lot of reasons. I think it's great. So Miranda, we've known each other since what? October 2016-ish. I'll let you go first so Maria can have some time to think about the answer to this. Miranda, what is one thing that you don't like about Steve Cronin?
Steve Cronin, I love your enthusiasm, but you can be pretty abrasive, and I think a lot of the jurors can agree with me on that.
Wow, very quick answer. Okay, Maria, you're up.
Sure. Steve Cronin, you actually knew everyone and knew their games, and that's one thing that I didn't like about you in the game. I was threatened by that, and that's my answer.
Okay, well, I'm not going to ask more questions because I think y'all laid out your games really well in your opening speech. I'm sure the jurors after me will have plenty of things to say. I just have one final word to say. I know that Eli is a juror. I hope he's watching right now, Eli. And I just want to say, last year, Eli and I played a Sequester mini together. And he told Chris Wallace after this mini that he thinks my voice is annoying. So Eli, when it's your turn to come up and be a juror, I'm expecting an apology from you to me. That's it, girls. Love you both, and good luck.
All right, I will bring in the next juror, Patty.
Hey, can y'all hear me? Hi. So good to see you both. I just wanted to say that I'm really happy that both of you are here. Miranda, I know you said that you said you didn't play an honest game, but I, like, even though we weren't working closely together, I felt like I could trust you, and just felt, I don't know, good vibes from you from the beginning. So I just want to say that. I think you played a strategic game. Maria, I think you also played a really good and strategic game. I really appreciated your energy, and you were a challenge beast. I don't think anybody can dispute that. So I think both of you earned your way here and did a great job. So I have a few questions for you, and they're the same questions for each of you. So the first question is, if you could pick 2 jury members on a vacation with, who would be those jury members and where would you go? And sorry, maybe Maria first.
Sure, Patty, thank you. Okay, picking 2 jury members to go on vacation, I would definitely say I'd love to go with Cammie because she's the life of the party. She was so much fun to talk to, and I definitely would love to do that. And the other jury member that I would love to go on a vacation with, believe it or not, would be Steve Cronin, because as much as he is, you know, he knows everyone, this and that, I could see he's a lot of fun. So I would love to enjoy some time with him and get to know him more. And we would go to Puerto Rico to my condo.
Great.
Based off of Steve's statements last round, or not last round, what am I talking about? But when he asked his question, I would probably bring Steve and Eli, and we would also go to Maria's condo. And I feel like I would bring those 2 just because there would be a lot of drama and it would make the trip interesting, just based off of what Steve just said.
All right, good to know. So my second question is, I guess I've just found that it's nearly impossible to get through Sequester without lying to someone or betraying someone or at least rubbing somebody the wrong way. If you guys could both please make an apology to somebody on the jury right now, as heartfelt as you can make it. Maybe Miranda, we'll start with you.
Well, could I actually extend this to the pre-jury, or because I would also really like to make one to the pre-jury, so I'm going to make 2 apologies now. Kelly, I apologize for pegging you as a liar because I know you weren't, and that was very unfair. It was a very selfish move, but it was what I felt like would further my game and what I needed to do damage control. And I would also like to apologize to Eli. Eli, I know we've been waiting for our second chance for a long time, and I know you were almost expecting me to pull the trigger, and I'm just very sorry I had to do it because I know how much this meant to you, but it's what I needed to do to further my game and give myself the best chance.
Patty, I would like to apologize to Diamond because I did not tell her who my 3 actual people were. And because of that, I had a factor in her going home, which was not what I wanted. I genuinely wanted to continue to play with her because I noticed in the beginning she was kind of reserved and quiet, and I felt that she warmed up to me and I felt very comfortable with her. The other person that I would say because I was playing a loyal game. I was definitely doing that. But I did have to lie to people so that I could protect myself. So I guess the other person that I would say that I'd lie to was Steve, because I told Steve that he was on my list to vote out, and Steve and I had a battle over it. And what I liked about that was, though, Steve confronted me. He's like, you got my name down and you're going to vote me out and blah, blah, blah. And I heard that from someone else and so forth. And I said, wait a minute, I do have your name, but I'm not going to write your name down. Guess what? I didn't have his name and I didn't have to write it down. But I do apologize for lying to you, for stirring the pot on you, and you being concerned at the moment. So it's something small, but it's something that's important. And it was nice the way he ended it with, was like, that's how you have a sequester fight and clean it up. So I bonded with him with that, and I believe he was with me afterwards.
All right, thanks so much. I think you're both genuinely wonderful people and good players. My vote, I would say, is still up for grabs tonight, so I'm just going to continue to be watching all the questions come through, and so good luck to both of you.
All right, I will bring in the next juror, Nick.
What's up, ladies? Can you hear me? All right. So I have 2 questions for each of you. The first one is a more serious one, and the second one's more of a joke. So the first one is the same for each, and I'm going to ask you both why I shouldn't vote for the other person. So Miranda, we'll start with you, I guess.
You should not vote for Maria, because Maria never really played she always just seemed to do what everyone else, or not everyone else, she seemed to always want like either 2 options gone and like go with one of those 2 options. And for someone who was pegged as being this huge competition beast, it kind of showed in the final LOC when none of us could win it, when we were all expecting Maria to.
Okay, and my second question, which is a little lighter toned, is who do you think has better hair, me or Noah Salvatore?
What's the rubric? What categories am I rating it on?
Oh, it's just personal opinion.
All right, I say 2016 Noah's hair was worse than yours. I'd say now it's close. I think Noah has the better hair.
All right, perfect. All right, Maria, same question. Why do you think Miranda shouldn't win?
The reason I think Miranda should not win is because Miranda just stood behind Eli. She did everything that Eli was telling her to do. And that is not, to me, someone who's playing strategic. That is someone who is actually riding someone's coattail. I, on the other hand, was protecting myself by playing. I was loyal to my alliance. I told them when they were going home, and I genuinely was playing this game hard. So yes, I did my very best to continue to play the game and not have a target on my back. Another thing that I don't believe that Miranda did was she's saying that she's trying to take the credit for getting Eli out. But that was the consensus. Everybody wanted him out. Eli was going to win this game. I respect that he's an amazing player. But that was on my agenda too. I think that was on everyone's agenda at the end. So I wouldn't say that was a huge move, because that was everybody's move. It was a consensus, and I'm pretty sure Audrey can contest to that it was unanimous.
Okay, all right, that's what I wanted to hear. And my second question to you is a little easier. There's really only one true answer, and it's who's the sexiest male to ever play Sequester?
Oh, my love, it's you. I kept telling you how cute you are and everything, and how I wanted to have the sleeve, and my family wouldn't let me have it. So I swear to you, I kept telling you how handsome you were, or you are, not just were, and I meant it. Like, I know it was very genuine that you know that I was being sincere. So you're a handsome looking guy. I can't deny it. I'm as gay as they come, but I still think you're handsome. So that's okay. I can see, baby.
Thanks, Mama. All right. My opinion has not been made. I'm waiting to hear out everybody else's, but congrats to you both. You both look great. And yeah, good luck, guys.
Thank you.
All right, I will bring in the next juror, Derek.
Hello, ladies. Congratulations on making it to tonight. You guys beat out everybody else. You proved you had what it takes to make it this far. I just want to start off. I had a list of questions, but I came at work and I completely forgot them at home. So I'm winging it tonight. But I do have one question I want to ask you both in particular. And we'll just say, Miranda, you can go first. The question is, if you could void one juror's vote tonight, whose vote would it be and why?
I would vote Holly, or I would vote Holly's vote, because Holly and I did not have a game relationship at all. In fact, I'm pretty sure she called me awkward and stupid a number of times when she was in a room. But I just have to say that the reason why I never talked Holly was because I did not talk game with Holly, was because I did not trust her. I knew that no matter what I told her, whether it was a lie or a truth, would be twisted in some sort of way and come back to me. So since I never really talked game with Holly, I would have to void her vote.
All right. Maria, if you could void one jury vote tonight, whose vote would it be and why?
Well, I would not like that.
You got to answer the question.
I do know, and I will answer it. Yeah, darling, giving me that one. Woof. You know, I'm going to say this only because I have to answer this, but I would say Patty, as much as I wanted to get Patty, communicate more with her and bond with her more, and I felt like we were getting there towards the end, I would say that only because I didn't get an opportunity to get to know her more, because I feel like I had an opportunity to meet pre-jury and jury. So honestly, that's the only reason I'm saying it, because you're saying that, because I do feel that Patty's an awesome player, strategic, and a very damn good player at this. So, you know, having to name someone, I would have to just say her name.
All right. So throughout the game, both of you ladies played very similar games, and they were just more of a social, more of on the strategy side. Some people would see that as a floater game, but I personally don't see it as a floater game. I'd say that Sequester is a game that you have to be social in, because that's really all you have is your word in these kind of games. So, ladies, I do want to commend the social games that you both played this season. I do want to commend the way that, Maria, you won those contests, and Miranda, the way you picked it up at the end. I will say that my vote right now is still up in the air. I said I was going to base my vote off of how well you ladies did tonight, because you did play two very similar games. The moves you guys made throughout the game, I recognize. I can't say that me going out 7th, I still continue to watch, and both of you ladies played very well. I was proud of the final 3 and that you all stuck together. So I just want to say congratulations, and whatever happens tonight, ladies, keep your heads up and best of luck.
All right, stand by, and I will bring in the next juror, Eli. Eli, we cannot hear you. All right, while Eli adjusts his settings, we're going to move on to the next juror, which is Holly. So stand by.
Hey, ladies. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Man, you guys really lived up to being flops. What happened last night? Maria, you won 1 comp? And like Miranda, you 3? Like, at least you got 3, but that's still embarrassing. Good God. Jesus, you guys. Good job at second chances. At least you made it further than I did. Miranda, we literally never talked in the game. I feel like I don't even know who you are. I don't know anything about you. So my question for you is, how do you expect me to vote for you if I literally know nothing about you?
Well, I would hope that you would respect that I was just protecting my game near the end, because after everything that I had heard, and you lied pretty profusely. I did not trust you. I did not trust telling you anything, and I wasn't about to just sit there and talk about the weather with you. I did want to work with you at the very beginning because we were in a room with like me, you, and Kelly, and I really liked the vibes then, so I wanted to try to feel you out. But once I really got an idea of where you were, I realized that really it was a liability, and I didn't trust telling you anything. I'm sorry.
Okay, no, that's fair enough. That's fine. To be completely honest, I feel like you really just floated to the end, and I don't really know like what your big move was, and that's just my perspective. Maria, I don't have a question for you. I just wanted to say congratulations. You won like half of the comps. You both lied to my face and voted me out, and I really respect both of you for that. And honestly, whoever wins this $10 gift card tonight, I hope you party your life away with it. If there even is one. But I'm not going to waste your time. I hope y'all had a blast. I had a blast. I'm looking forward to talking to y'all at the wrap call. We have 2 more people to get through. I'm looking forward to see who wins. Congratulations, ladies.
All right, stand by, and I will try to bring Eli in again.
Can you all hear me now? Okay, perfect. So to start off with Steve Cronin, I do apologize if I said your voice was annoying at 3 a.m. when I couldn't build a house of cards and you were screaming. And I'll also apologize for that blind side that I had to give you earlier in the season, so I'm sorry about that. So here's my first question for both of you. This was a season all about redemption, and I think that your story of redemption, in my opinion, has to be key to you winning the game. So in what way has the person sitting next to you not fully redeemed their gameplay from their original season? Maria, you can go first.
Well, I really didn't see Miranda's season, but based on what I have heard, it's pretty much the same game. She pretty much stays behind someone and allows them to make the moves for her versus her making the moves and then tries to take credit for them at the end. That's my answer.
Okay.
Oh, first off, to counter that, I just want to say that I did play a very similar game to what I did in 3.0 because I realized I thought I had to take a complete 180. I thought I had to change everything about my game. I thought I had to be this over-the-top player making big moves at the very beginning. But I slowly realized that my game in 3.0 wasn't bad. It just needed tweaking. And I had my obstacles that I had to overcome. But overall, I was content with a lot of parts of my gameplay in 3.0, and I wanted to incorporate those in my second chance. Second, Maria was only in the game for 3 nights, but she's, you know, all we really saw of her, we didn't really see a lot of Maria, so I don't know how to answer that. But it seems like she still maintained the same kind of strategy, like if you don't say my name, if I won't say yours, and kind of floating to the end that way. But we didn't see a lot of her.
Okay. Second question is, who did you successfully vote out of this game? Think back from night 1 with Zach all the way through voting out Gordon. I'll start with you, Miranda. Which one of those votes did you vote for that person to go?
The first 2 nights I could not vote, and that really threw a monkey wrench in my game plan, right? So that's when I realized I couldn't come in with a plan. I had to play everything by ear and take my old school strategy and adapt it to the new school style. The third round, you could say I successfully voted out Diamond, unfortunately, which actually worked in my favor. It didn't hurt my game anymore. The round after that, I successfully voted out Kelly. The round following that, I successfully voted out I'm Kelly, and then my next one would be Steve, Holly, Andrew, you, and I think that's it.
You could vote for Steve his night?
Oh, I could not vote for Steve that night.
And Maria?
Okay, Eli. The first night, I successfully voted Zach. The second night, Billy. The third night, it was the allies, so it wasn't my intention, but Diamond got voted out, and it wasn't my intention. So I don't know what you'd consider that. I did not have a vote. I did not choose to vote out Kelly. That was other people doing that. Cammie, the spiel, that was the unfortunate part that she got the wheel, so that happened. The Steve vote, that was an alliance that we had created, that I would vote you, and that was something I did in conjunction to making it sure that it was even. So that was a successful still because it worked. Patty, I was not aware of, so I'm not going to try to take credit for a word it's not due. Nick, I did tell you at that vote, I said, who do you think you can't beat? And you said to me, who do you think? And you wouldn't give me a name. And I said, Nick. And then you said, okay, and then you were okay with that. And that's what happened. Nick got voted out. And that's the name that I threw out. And then the other person that got voted out was, I believe it was Derek, but that was because not so that was nothing I can do. Okay, you were voted out, but honestly, Eli, you are an amazing player and a threat. And yes, I did vote for you to go home. It wasn't because Miranda said it. It was because it was the consensus of everyone. I went in there wanting to vote Eli, Holly, and Andrew. And those are the next three that went out. And then at the end, Meredith came in because she didn't win the competition. So that's where I stand with my votes.
Okay. Maria, how did you use your LOS? I've heard you mention that, but I'm sorry if you already said how you used it. I haven't recalled hearing that yet.
Well, I had a grip on the game, and I knew that I didn't need to use it. Because of the relationships that I had built, people were telling me what was going on. So at 6, I had a choice to use it or not use it. I honestly didn't think you had an LOS because you did this. Your body language was telling me that you were gone. Like I knew you knew. No one was saying anything when you were in the room. And so at that point, I used it. I protected myself in the event you had it, but I sincerely didn't think you did have an LOS. And what was I going to do with it? I had to use it then, so I did it. But I didn't. I had it the whole game, and I didn't have to use it because I didn't need to use it. And that was my gut telling me that I was okay and the people that I was working with.
Okay, and my final question for both of you. Say at midnight tonight, after Sequester Bot reveals the winner, say you're the loser. What was your fatal flaw that led you to lose the game? Maria, you can go first.
Honestly, at this stage, it's in the hands of the jury. So I have done my very best. Playing season 1, like Miranda said, I came in hard and heavy. Here, I learned what I needed to do. I needed to play my game, vote the way I wanted to vote. I didn't vote the way you asked me to vote every time or other people told me to vote. I voted the way what was in Maria's best interest. So why would I have possibly lost this game? Because the jury didn't think that I played a better game. I really, it's out of my hands. I did everything I could. I did everything possible, strategically, socially, connections, everything I possibly, winning comms, staying safe. I did everything I possibly could. So all I can do is that and turn it over to you guys to see who played the best game.
I want to add that I did successfully vote out Nick. I don't think I said his name in your first question, but if I were to get runner-up tonight, it would be, my fatal flaw would be not building game relationships with Holly, Nick, and Andrew because I did not trust them. And for anyone who says I'm a floater, I obviously had very different sides. I obviously picked a side, and Andrew, Nick, and Holly, and Steve to an extent weren't on them. So I would say failing to talk game with them. But in retrospect, like, I honestly don't know what I would have said. I don't know what I would have told them because I had it set in my mind that I did not want to work with them.
All righty, thank you all. Good luck to both of you.
All right, I will bring in the next juror, Andrew.
Okay, good. Okay, guys, love you both. You're great ladies. I just wanted to say it's great friends during the game. It's a game, and outside of the game, we're friends. I have no problems with both of you. So I got to get into the game mode, so don't get upset at me. Okay. I've thrown up twice now in Sequester, one from the Warder night and one from tonight, because I'm sick of how you guys are answering the questions. One, Maria, please stop kissing everybody's butt tonight on the jury. Cammie, you've loved her. Nick thinks she's beautiful. Eli, you're the best game player. Steve Cronin, I want to go to bed with you. I mean, come on, seriously, stop that. Miranda, unfortunately, your puffy doggy eyes, you got to start barking at people and saying why you want to win this game. So let's try to make this a little better for the people and the viewers who are doing. I'm going to start taking Holly's time since she took so little time for the questions that I have. I have 2 game questions, 2 social questions. Got it, guys? Good. Sorry about this, but we're getting straight to the point and try to elaborate on certain things which you guys are taking credit for, and I want to explain because it doesn't make sense to me. Starting off, by the way, Miranda, if you don't know, there was a Sequester casting pool lottery people had. They had to pick 5 names out of 25 people playing. You were on 18 of those things, saying you were going to win. And Maria, you're only on 3 of those 26 names. I was only on 1. I don't know why Ame picked me, but thank you very much, Ame, which makes sense. But the reason why I bring that up is because Miranda, everyone knows that you play a low-key game, and Maria, people know that you're very loud from New Jersey/New York. However, the other side, Miranda being such a low-key game getting by, Maria, you had the first 3 nights you were free. Okay, you had no chance of going home because you were voters for the first 2 nights. So that was a gift to you because you didn't have to go through what Nick and I had to go through of surviving that game. So my question to you, first question is, Maria, which I need explanation for, there are 6 people left in the game. Eli gets voted out. There are now 5 people left in the game. I don't understand your explanation as to why you went with Meredith and Miranda, and you voted out Holly because she was one of your 3 in that game. In my mind, I need you to explain why you wanted to continue and go vote out Holly when you knew you can join Holly and I to vote out the other person I think was safe that night.
Okay, Andrew. Oh, can you hear me? Okay, Andrew. The reason that I chose, because one of the things that I was playing throughout the game was playing in the middle. The reason that I chose to stay with my loyalty to Meredith, who I was working with from the beginning, and I really wasn't working with Miranda, but she actually wanted to work with me at that point, is that I felt Holly is a competition beast, and I felt that if I chose to go with you 2, I may have been voted out, because then you could have gone to the other group and said, "Oh, she took you out," and I had already made an agreement and gave my loyalty to the girls that I was going to stick with them.
But for your game plan, it would make no sense. You think you can beat Meredith and Miranda versus Holly and me? I had no game. Nobody was going to vote for me to win. Why would you think you can win against the other 2 versus more me?
I believe, Steve, that you did have game.
Okay, first of all, it's Andrew.
Andrew, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm just.
No, it's okay. You're doing great. Now I'm finally pushing your button.
Andrew, I believe you played a low-key game. I did not see you not playing. I actually connected with you. I went and talked to you. I'm not kissing your ass. I'm being honest with you. I'm not
asking you to explain. I asked why you went with Meredith and Miranda when you could have beaten easily me and possibly Holly.
Because I felt that Holly is a great competitor, and I felt that she plays good competitions and so forth, and I didn't think that Meredith could do that, and I didn't know how Miranda was at it, so I felt my best interest was to stay with where I was. I wasn't going to be flipping in the game like that, so I didn't think I could.
I'll do it better. Okay, next, Miranda. When by the way, when it was 3-on-3, and you say that you voted out Eli, Holly, Maria, and Andrew were for sure not voting anyone else other than Eli out. So there was absolutely no way other than going to a tie vote. So Eli was going to either go home or not go home because of 3 versus 3. So did you have the decision, or did you purposely switch over because you didn't want to go to the vote?
No, that was absolutely my decision. That was a planned night that I had. My boot order was also Eli, then Holly. Then my boot order was actually going to be Meredith. I wanted to take you to the end, Andrew. I would have cut Meredith if I had more say at that point, but I had already influenced 2 of the decisions pretty heavily. And by then I knew it was either me or you, and I knew Maria and Meredith were not going to be splitting up. So I'm thankful they took me to the end, but that wouldn't.
Next question. Other than the top 6, you go first now, Miranda. Other than the top 6, including Eli, because we all agree, Eli, you are a great player. By the way, you are a great player, Eli. And by the way, Steve Cronin, I also want to party with you, Steve Cronin. Okay, other than the top 6, who would you have picked to win the game? Go.
I would have voted for Cammie.
Okay, Maria.
I would also have voted for Cammie.
Okay, now comes the social questions. Miranda, Holly and I drink every night. Do you know any of the drinks that we drink? Pick one or the other.
I do not.
Okay, Maria, there was only one thing on my chair every night. Do you know what was on my chair every night?
I believe it was whiskey.
I didn't ask the drink. I asked what was on my chair every night.
Your hat? I'm not sure, to be honest with you.
Okay, and last questions, and never not least. Okay, you're explaining you won big moves you guys made. Maria, we know you had 4 LOCs, and you had an LOS you didn't use. Which, by the way, LOS not using, great thing to tell us because nobody knew about that. What social game move did you do? And then Miranda, what active game did you do, not socially? Go, Maria.
The social game that I did was right from the beginning. Every time I was in a room with someone, I knew what they did. And let's say with Holly, I knew she was a caregiver. I shared with her about my grandfather and so forth. So that was what I did. I connected with everyone. Even with you, Andrew, I knew you're a podiatrist. I knew you were on Big Brother. I told you I wanted to work with you. I actually talked to Eli. I knew he was a teacher. So I told him about my family. I knew that,
okay, the social. Okay, and Miranda?
Can you define active game? What do you mean by that? Because in my opinion, social game also, if you're talking about like moves and influencing decisions, is that what you mean by active game?
No, we know you didn't scream, and we know Maria didn't scream like me or Steve or Kelly. Name something actively you did, not a move, but something you think you did actively that someone would say, "Oh my God, did Miranda just do that?"
I would say definitely lying about my vote toward Diamond and pegging it on one person who knew that I had voted for her.
Okay, congratulations. My vote is still open. Good luck, ladies.
All right, now I will bring in the final juror, Meredith.
Hello, ladies. If you can hear me, give me a thumbs up. I'm having flashbacks to all the sound checks. Well, first of all, I want to say congratulations to both of you. I honestly love both of you personally, and I really am genuinely glad to see the 2 of you in the final 2. In our survey, one thing that I said, I can't remember what question it was about, but one thing that I did say was that I really just want to see a genuinely good person, a good-hearted, good person win this season. And I feel like no matter which way it goes tonight, I will get my wish. So I love both of you guys, and I'm glad to see you here. So I am going to start with Miranda. I did different questions for you guys, and I haven't had as much time to think of these questions as everyone else because I honestly was focused on what I was going to say to the jury. So I'll start with the ones that I do have. So this one is for Miranda. It's pretty obvious that my game would depend on the final two being a Big Brother situation, in that the person who wins the final challenge decides who they take to the final two. So I am going to ask you, Miranda, because you did win the final challenge, if that is how Sequester worked, and if you did decide who to take to the final, this is kind of like a two-part answer from you. Who would you have taken between me and Maria? And if that was the case, would you have changed anything in terms of how the votes fell the round before final three? So the round when Eli, Holly, and Andrew went. Please go ahead.
Well, Meredith, I would not have taken you to the end. I'm sorry, but I do believe that you would have a leg up over me, whereas I felt like I had a leg up over Maria, and I do feel like I did play a better game than her. And I know a lot of people were turned off by her being this competition beast that she was made out to be, but frankly, in the end, all of the competitions are competitions that we had practiced every single night, right? So we had done them, and then after the game had ended, I would practice those at least 500 times each. I've been doing the final LOCs alongside the final three every single season other than my season. So in my opinion, there is no excuse to cut someone at the end because you think they're a competition beast. If you do your homework, you could be okay. And then what was the second question?
The second part was, if it was Big Brother style, in that once you got to that final, if you won the final challenge, then you decided who to take, would you have changed anything the round before in terms of who came with you to that challenge and who maybe you would have brought with you? Because if you could decide to bring someone with you, then maybe you would bring someone who's a little bit more of a go.
Okay.
Would you have changed anything with your votes the round prior to final three, the round when Eli, Holly, and Andrew went?
Yeah, if I could have, Meredith, I love you, but I didn't have a lot of say, and I knew you and Maria weren't going to split up, but I did feel like you did play the stronger game out of the three of us, and I felt like you had a really good chance of beating me in the end. So I would have brought Andrew Gordon alongside Maria.
Okay, I appreciate that answer. I did just want to say, though, I actually felt more like I wouldn't have split up from you than from Maria. So just to throw that out there. And the other thing I was going to say is that you came very close to convincing me to vote for Kelly, but we can ask Audrey to verify this if we want to, but I wrote Kelly's name and then immediately said, can I please change my vote? And I actually did vote for Holly because I just intrinsically did not trust her. So I do appreciate that game move still, because it got me to the point of still writing Kelly's name down, even though I didn't really want to do that. So I still give you props on that move, even though I did end up switching my vote to Holly. So thank you, Miranda. So Maria, you know what? I actually think I would ask you the same question. I hadn't originally. I had a different question for you, but I'm interested to know if you, same as Miranda, if you could have chosen who to bring with you if you had won. So Miranda did win, but let's say you won that final challenge, and then it just meant that you decided whether me or Miranda came with you to the final two. Who would you have chosen and why? And would that also have influenced how you voted the previous round prior to final three, when Holly, Andrew, and Eli went, and possibly the round before as well?
I'm going to be honest with you. I would 100% have chosen you to come with me. I felt loyalty to you. I was honest with you. I felt a connection. I felt it from the beginning. I felt it when you played your season, but I also when we communicated. So yes. This is not blowing smoke up your thing. I genuinely felt like you deserved to be at the final two. I didn't feel comfortable or trusted Miranda, to be honest with you. I didn't think that she was playing a solid game, and I have no problem with sitting against you. You played an amazing social game. I liked your game. Yeah, I won comps, but that doesn't necessarily mean that because I won comps that I was gonna win the game. This game is about social, strategic, and making moves, and psychological. My psychological game was downplaying the comp wins. and also making my own moves. So I also did not vote exactly the way everyone else voted. And,
Okay.
and that's the first part. Can you please ask me the other part, because you asked a lot right back to back.
That's okay. And the other part was whether you would change not only who you would have brought between me and Miranda, but knowing that if it was a Big Brother scenario where you choose who to bring, if you happen to be the one who wins that final challenge, would you have changed how you voted potentially the round prior to Final 3? So the night when Eli, Holly, and Andrew went, and possibly even the round before that, would you have changed perhaps who you voted out if the end of the game was different and that you chose who to take with you to the end instead of just who won?
I would have voted out Miranda, period.
Okay.
Because that's who I would have voted out. I would have stayed with the way that I voted because I felt that Eli was going to win this game. Holly is an amazing player. And Andrew, I do feel he was playing a game. And he was playing a low-key game, but he was still playing a game. So I'm a loyal player, and I was going to play my loyalty with the people that I was working with. And I did feel you and I were working together solid.
Yeah, and we definitely were. I didn't mean to downplay that when I said what I did to Miranda. It was more, and we absolutely had a connection before we ever came into this game. That is all true, and it will last beyond this game as well, obviously. But it was more just that I saw you as a comp threat, and because I knew of the way that the game did end and that it was just who won the 2 comps, I will admit that I said your name towards the end only just because I was afraid of you winning that final challenge, because we all know now how terrible I am at those kind of challenges. But it wasn't that I had anything against you socially or that I didn't trust you. It was more just that you were a threat. So yeah, I guess those are my main questions. But I think what I wanted to sort of ask is, I saw a tweet that I thought was interesting, because I really do love social media outside of this game too. So obviously I pay attention to it, and I did during the game, and still do. And I saw a tweet that said that our 3 games kind of covered the 3 sort of bases of what a game like this kind of is. Maria, you sort of were challenges. Miranda was sort of strategic, and I was social. So if you had to choose one of the other 2 qualities beyond what you were named, so Maria, you have to choose between strategic and social, and Miranda, you have to choose between social and comp wins, which one do you think would be your next best strength that you brought to the game? And I'll have Miranda start.
I would say competitions, because I won them when I had to, and I got as far when I had to, and I never really had to win a competition in that game until it really mattered. And when it mattered, I was able to pull out that one win I needed, or else I would have gone at Final 5. I truly believe it. So I would pick competitive.
Okay, that's great. And honestly, I give you props for that answer, because I think even that answer is strategic. So I appreciate it. So Maria, go ahead. Beyond comp wins, what do you think your next best strength was?
Social games. I got to know everyone, got to bond with them, and that kept me with the numbers, and people weren't throwing my name out. I was minimizing what I was doing with my comps. So social game was my next, based on what was said on the Twitter that you're mentioning. But social is extremely important any game.
Yes, I definitely agree. We all know that. And I agree. I think that is probably your next best strength. So thank you very much, ladies. I love you both. Again, I'm so happy to see you in the finale. And I would like to conclude by saying, who run the world? Girls. Good night.
All right. Now it's time to move on to closing statements. Miranda, you went first in the opening, so you will go last. Maria, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Okay, in conclusion, I would like to say from season 1, I came in playing hard and fast, and I learned from my experience, and I learned that I needed to adapt into this 10.0, which Sequester has evolved to. It's like old school and new school. And old school was totally different than the new school, which, like, you could see Cammie was running in there and charging, and there was barriers just going in there and doing what they had to do. The second thing that I would like to address is I was definitely a social game player from day 1. I wanted to get to know everyone. I came into the game with an agenda daily. And my agenda was to work on getting the work on getting the threats out of the game. So I was playing day by day. I also was working a psychological game, which was minimizing the comps that I was winning, and everyone was actually believing that I can do that. I can clarify and I can show at a later date that I can do the cup challenge, that I can do a lot. I've never done the balloon challenge, so it is what it is. I never saw that one. But long story short, I definitely feel that I played a loyal game. I connected with people. I played in the middle. I made moves in the game. I had a pulse on the game. I had an LOS that I didn't need to use until the end when it didn't, it didn't matter. I put names out there, which I had no issues with doing a few times, but the way I did it was I would say, who can't you be? And instead, then someone would either say, well, tell me, or they would say it. So instead of going in there like I did in season 1, I came in and said, don't vote for me, I won't for you, vote for you. I didn't do that. And I learned from that experience. So that was very important. I did win 4 LOCs and I did get 2 safeties. Yes, safety is the key to any game. I didn't want to have to be at risk. I didn't know anybody in this game. In the reverse, Miranda knew a lot of people. I never met anybody. So I wanted to protect my interests. I want to address, and this isn't kissing up. This is the way I feel. This is my genuine self speaking. Cammie, no BS kind of person. You say it the way it is, love your energy, and I really do believe you should have won this game or gotten that far. The way you played was amazing. Steve, I still love you with your head on. You're smart, you played hard. It happened the way it went. I loved our little mini fight. It was cute. It went the way it went. Patty, strategic. I respected your game. I wish I got to know you more. You had computer issues and so on and so forth. But in the long run, I do, felt positive energy with you. And I did feel that you were a threat in the game. Nick, I don't give a crap what anybody says. You are handsome, man. And you're a challenge beast. And that's why I wanted to vote you out. And I did have a hand in doing that and naming it. Derek, I had an amazing connection with you. The moment that I met with you in the room, you were funny, you played hard, and to be honest with you, you were my number 1. I wanted to continue to work with you all the way through, and that's how I felt about you. Eli, a damn force to be reckoned with, genuine, smart, and I can't wait to meet you in the future and, discuss other things. Holly, what a great player you are. I know you were lying. I felt it in my gut. But you're a passionate woman. You're funny as hell. And when you were gone, it did make a difference. But to be honest with you, I didn't, I didn't feel like if I brought you and Andrew with me, because I was the swing vote there, that I would be in a better place. I would not possibly be here. And lastly, I would like to say to Andrew, you played a low-key game and you played strategic, y en español te voy a decir, por favor, vota por mí porque yo quiero ganar este juego, okay? And Meredith, social butterfly, love you, thank you, you're amazing, and I appreciate everyone, and whatever way it goes, I just give it in your hands to whoever played the best game. May the first woman win.
All right, Miranda, you're up.
So yes, I played a very low-key game, and yes, it was probably a little boring to watch, but you know what? I didn't sign up again to be iconic, and I didn't sign up again to try to get a 3rd chance or to try to get on All-Stars. I came here to fucking win Sequester, and low-key games have proven to be effective, especially in the old school stages of the game. So I wanted to take that old school strategy, bring it to a new school game, adapt and learn from my mistakes and overcome the obstacles that I've had in these games and make it to the end. I learned how to overcome my own personal obstacle of Final 5 by not peaking prematurely and rather peaking toward the end, not having too many allies, knowing when to pull the trigger before someone else can first, and remaining consistent with the lies I told. And that's exactly what a Second Chances season is about. It's about changing your prior beliefs about the game and learning from your mistakes. And I urge you to consider that when you cast your vote tonight.
All right, jurors, if you have not already submitted your vote, please do it now. As for all the viewers, if you are interested in becoming a patron, head to patreon.com/sequester, and you can join myself and all of the contestants and the other patrons on tonight's traditional Skype rap party after call. I'm also going to be hosting a Sequester game that is exclusive to patrons in the next couple weeks. So if you are a patron or if you're interested in playing Sequester, there's still time to sign up and be eligible for that game. Ladies, stand by and I will tally the votes. All right, I have the results. One moment, and we will find out who has won Sequester 10.0. All right, I will reveal the results. The winner and runner-up will be joining Jonathan Kraus on our after show at younow.com/Sequester Access to talk about their gameplay the entire season, how far they've come from the first time they played. Ladies, congratulations. You both did amazing this season. Thank you so much for playing again. Thank you so much, everyone on production who helped moderate this season, who puts up with my mood swings. And just thank you all the voyeurs who stuck around and watched and supported all these people this season. I know it wasn't easy for a lot of them. All right, let's get to the results.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Congrats, Maria.
Oh, thank you so much. Woo! Oh, God, this is amazing.
Congratulations, Maria. You have won Sequester
Oh,
10.
God. This is great. Thank you, guys. Wow. I'm so emotional.
You deserve it.
Thank you. Congrats. Oh, God. It was so hard. Oh, Miranda. Good game, girl.
Good game, Maria. Good game.
Oh, thank you, guys. Thank you. I wanted it so bad. I worked so hard. Oh, this is so hard and such a quick week. Yes, yes! I wanted to do this season 1, people. Oh God, are we still on? What the hell?
Okay. All right. I am now going to end the broadcast for the season. Everyone head to younow.com/Sequester Access, where Jonathan will interview first Miranda, our runner-up, and then Maria, our Sequester 10.0 winner.
Oh,